Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, it's been a day. I got a whole bunch of good news stuff for you, and just my absence yesterday was due to Saturday night picking up a rental car, driving to Los Angeles, then Sacramento, then back to Los Angeles, then back to Phoenix, all basically in one trip with virtually no rest. Let's just say it was a very grueling experience. I was probably driving between swapping back and forth with my wife for well over 30 hours or so, something like that. And because it's about 12 hours there and 12 hours back for the whole total trip there and back. So about 24, but you got to account for rest stops and gas and all that stuff. Let's just say I didn't want to drive anymore. My legs were pretty cramping. But either way, let's get right into it. So the first article I have for you today is Satoshi Nakamoto releases excerpts from an upcoming book. Is it a hoax? Well, here's the thing. It states in the article that anybody that was Satoshi Nakamoto or whoever Satoshi Nakamoto is could easily move transactions from some of the original Bitcoin addresses, and then you would know, hey, that's him, and then he could either show himself or he could at least move even just a single Bitcoin in one of those wallets and then provide proof of that online. And everybody would know that Satoshi Nakamoto is either still alive or still around. But still kind of interesting in the, the creation of the hype and the mystery of Satoshi Nakamoto. A website, Nakamoto Family Foundation org, went live with an excerpt from a book attached claiming to originate from Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto. So those who don't know anything about Bitcoin beyond the name most likely know the mysterious and unknown identity of the person or persons who created the cryptocurrency. The identity of the secret creator is a popular topic for argument in the cryptocurrency and cryptography space. So the alleged Nakamoto has called for patience, stating, "The truth is too special to give away. Requires a long answer, which will be in the book." Well, so whenever I see that, I kind of think, that somebody is hyping, and, whenever you say, hey, it's in my book, you're just trying, at that point, you're just trying to sell your book. If somebody asks you a question, hey, what about this mystery or this question or whatever, yada, yada, and you say, it's a long answer and it's going to be in the book. Well, most answers can be answered pretty quickly. Yes, some of them have a long answer, but honestly, you could just drop a name or a group of people and boom. That's pretty much it. Sure, there'd be a lot of information behind that, behind the creation and what happened after, but honestly, not really a long answer. So I just feel like, hey, these people are just trying to sell a book. So many Bitcoin veterans remain unconvinced and dismissed the story as another wild goose chase. So if the real Satoshi Nakamoto wanted to reveal themselves to the public, there would be no need for a long answer. Only they would have control of the private keys for the Genesis address, the very first Bitcoin address containing the first coins ever mined. Simply moving the Genesis coins or signing a transaction with those keys is the only proof of Nakamoto's identity. Although I have heard that the Genesis address is just stuck completely. Like, nothing can move out of it, even if you had the keys. I'm not sure. I've heard a lot of weird things about that. Kind of like Ethereum's Genesis address. But either way, Satoshi Nakamoto, or whoever they are, supposedly has a bunch of Bitcoin, something in the upwards of millions of Bitcoin. Not millions of dollars in Bitcoin, millions of Bitcoin. So like, I've heard anywhere from 1 million to 1.2. I've even heard 800,000. And, really all it would take was one Bitcoin to be moved from one wallet to another and be like, hey, look, this is one of Satoshi's wallets, and boom. But there doesn't need to be a long answer with this, but it is going to be interesting when the book comes out just to see what is in it at the moment. And once again, Satoshi Nakamoto could likely be a group of people. More than likely, it was, I think, creating Bitcoin just by yourself. Obviously, he needed a lot of other people to help test it for him. Hal Finney was a part of it, and then Hal Finney passed away. So, a lot of unanswered things. And I'm always interested to read a little bit about some speculation of Satoshi. So the next article is over 800 cryptocurrencies are now dead as Bitcoin is 70% off its record high. So cryptocurrency projects have been popping up left, right, and center in the past 18 months. Obviously, if you've been on planet Earth. But over 800 of those are now dead, according to comparisons between the digital coin market and the dot-com bubble in 2000. New digital tokens are created via a process of an ICO, not always, where a startup can issue a new coin, which investors can buy. The investors don't get an equity stake in the company, but the cryptocurrency that they could use could be used on the company's product. People usually buy into an ICO because the coins are cheap and it could offer big returns in the future. And there have been an explosion of ICOs. Companies raised $3.8 billion in 2017, but in 2018 so far, this number has already shot up to $11.9 billion. According to CoinSchedule. Most of that's probably actually EOS. However, hundreds of these projects are now dead because they were scams, a joke, or the product hasn't materialized. Deadcoins is a website that lists all the cryptocurrencies that fall into those categories. So far, it has identified just over 800 digital tokens that it considers dead, and these coins are worthless and trade at less than 1 cent. Also, you have to take into consideration a lot of coins have a dead blockchain and can't be moved or anything like that. I think there's 42 coin as well. I think this one has I'm pretty sure this one has a dead blockchain. But this is the most expensive of all the coins. In case anybody thought that Bitcoin was the highest price, well, I think Cryptopia actually trades it. But look at this 24-hour volume trading. A cool $181. Ooh, saucy volume. 42 coin saucy, $181 volume. But each coin is $27,000. In case anybody never knew or heard of 42 coin, because if you haven't heard of 42 coin, don't feel like you're missing out. 42 coin was created because I think the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I think 42 was supposed to be like the meaning of life or something like that, or everything revolves around the number 42 in that movie/book. So 800 coins is probably a conservative estimate. There's probably more. If deadcoin.com here or whatever, deadcoin, the website, just lists ICO coins, there could be a lot of other ones as well with just dead blockchains that just don't do anything anymore. So here's an article I thought was kind of interesting and a little bit misleading. I'm not sure. You guys can come up to your own conclusions on this, but just bear with me. Gaming PC that mines while idling hits market in Russia. Does anybody see what's wrong with that? I mean, this is marketed as a mining PC that idles while you're not gaming, or rather a gaming PC that mines while you're not gaming. Okay, but don't all computers do that? I mean, can't all computers do that? Except, yeah, sure, you need a GPU, you need a reasonably good processor at the very least to mine, like Monero or Electronium or something like that. But you see what I mean? That's like saying, a car that moves, or a car that has upgrading capability. I don't even know. I'm so confused. So a hybrid computer designed to please both gamers and miners, but isn't that every gaming PC? I mean, I have a gaming PC. You probably have a gaming PC. You may or may not. But if you have a mining PC, if you have a mining rig, you kind of also have a gaming rig, in a way. I mean, I know, yes, you need a lot of RAM for gaming, and most likely if you just have a mining PC, you might just have 1, 2, DIMM slots on your motherboard, and you might just have like 4 gigabytes of RAM or something like that just to run it, maybe 8. But you see, it just doesn't add up, because if you go out and you buy a gaming PC, you have a mining machine, essentially. Because usually gaming motherboards have like 6 PCIe slots, and you could put essentially 6 graphics cards in there if you had the power supply to handle it. So let me just continue. So the company offering the new PC promises a quarter ether of monthly income for gaming enthusiasts who would like to mine when their expensive configuration is idling. The premiere coincides with reports of new negative forecasts for hardware manufacturers. Okay, again, misleading once again, because if you promise a quarter of an Ethereum a month, you can't do that because in a couple months when the difficulty rises, or in 6 months, or in 8 months when the difficulty rises, you're not going to get a quarter of an Ethereum out of this rig. So therefore, your promise falls short. Extremely misleading. So maybe they just set up mining software for you that idles when the computer is idle, but you can already do that. One example of pretty easy software to do that is just NiceHash. Whether you're a fan of NiceHash or not, it doesn't matter. I'm just giving an example here that all you would have to do is just click the button on NiceHash. There's in the preferences, it's literally just click mine when idle. And then if your computer sits and you don't move the mouse for 1 minute, your computer starts mining. It's the same thing. So why do you have to go out and buy this expensive PC that is designed to be a gaming PC and mining PC at the same time? I'm so confused. This article just blows my mind that they're doing this because, sure, it's a good idea to mine on your gaming PC, in my opinion, just so you can get some of your money back, but whoa. The Russian company Crypto Technology presented its latest product, Cashbox X Gaming. Ooh, again, pretty misleading. Last week in St. Petersburg, where it's based, the platform is a hybrid between a powerful gaming computer and a cryptocurrency mining device, boasting enough capacity to fulfill both functions. But a gaming PC is already powerful enough to mine anyway. The base model is equipped with Intel i5 or i7 processors, 2 NVIDIA TI cards, and between 16 and 64 gigabytes of RAM. So if they're promising a quarter of an Ethereum a month and you get 2 1060s, you're not going to get that. And you're likely not going to get that with 2 1080 Ti's either. I mean, maybe. The low-end configuration offers a hash rate of 106 megahash, but it can go up to 181 with upgraded components. With 2 NVIDIA 1060s, you're going to get 106 megahash of Ethereum? No, sir. No, you're not. Not even close. Maybe if you mad overclock the memory, but no, not even close. So it starts at $2,200. One of the most misleading things I've ever seen. So Bitcoin is constantly under attack, claims GiveByte's CEO. There's a lot of negative sentiment around Bitcoin at 65.96. The first and foremost currency that was at 20,000 is now at 6,000 something. Although we are going up, it's looking pretty nice. We'll talk about that in a second. While no coiners have taken the opportunity to proclaim Bitcoin is dead, some experts believe it's far too early to make such an outrageous claim. So one such expert is Jacob Piotrowski, CEO and founder at GiveByte, who told Express that it's too soon to be talking about the death of crypto. So the price of Bitcoin peaked in December, and that was probably too much, so the correction was inevitable. Kind of agree. Although the correction down to 6,000 may have been a little extreme, but either way, a lot of panic selling, and the futures market kicked in, which destroys everything it touches. So we have to bear in mind that BTC is constantly under attack. We've witnessed a couple exchanges being attacked, and some governments and central banks issuing statements that were supposed to discourage people from Bitcoin. It doesn't seem to have worked, as the crypto market keeps on growing despite volatile prices and approaches the 250 billion cap. Well, it may have worked, though. The lowering prices, at the very least, worked, because we were at about 800 billion market cap, and now we're at 270. Now, at the time of writing, it says 250, and we're at 270, so one would suspect, hey, it is going up. And it kind of is. We're looking at some pretty good growth. We had a whale buy here, and it looks like another whale buy. And the thing is, with whale buys, if you have multiple from multiple different people at multiple different times, this person gets kind of screwed, and then they have to hold on for a while, and they won't sell at the moment because they're not getting screwed, but they're liking it, right? Because now they don't need to sell that and bomb it back down, and now they can't. And somebody else bought too. So, the whale dump will occur at least later on instead of pretty soon. So EOS is going up pretty big. EOS seems to have a really high percentile 24-hour change. So in order for Bitcoin to recover, that better cryptocurrency infrastructure is needed. I agree. Specifically, ATMs, payment gateways for e-commerce, mobile wallets, terminals accepting crypto, as well as regulations, and of course, women standing next to ATMs. Give me my women standing next to ATMs. I want it. I'm gonna dump all my Bitcoin if I don't get it. Okay. I don't care. I don't care if you put an ATM in Phoenix, where I'm from, and it is $1.20 outside. I want this woman standing next to it. All right, buying no Bitcoin. Okay, I'm just saying here, people. Okay, okay. It's the MK Ultra acting up. Sorry, guys. Extinguishing capacity. Bitcoin could swallow all M1 fiat at 223,000 per coin. Of course it can. Of course it can. It's gonna be guys. It's gonna be 5 million a coin. It's gonna be 5 million a coin because the infrastructure could totally handle all of the planet. Sarcasm is just spewing out. I don't mean to sound negative and FUD Bitcoin because I love Bitcoin, right? I run a YouTube channel with cryptocurrency, but some of these articles, come on. And people that think that the world is going to entirely convert to Bitcoin now or anytime soon, even in a few years, you're crazy. Not going to happen. First of all, the infrastructure can't even handle it. Governments wouldn't allow it, and they'd fight it nail and tooth, or they would outright ban it. And then, of course, yeah, you could be like, well, if they ban it, I'm still just going to use it. Well, you're the minority because a lot of people, listen to the government. I know that's crazy, but whenever the government bans something, people stay away from it, and it typically goes away. Except for the war on drugs. Oof, eesh, that didn't work out so good, government. Cut that out. It didn't work so good. Although, good job on meth, because meth is like the worst drug in the world. Part of an ongoing debate on social media, Blockstream CEO Adam Back and Samson Mao joined Bitcoin Think editor Beautyan. What is that? Beautyan, and discussing the phenomenon of hyper Bitcoinization, the yet untested process by which consumers abandon fiat and mass for Bitcoin. I don't know about that, guys. It's just, would I like to see something like that? Probably, sure. But with Bitcoin, not anytime soon. But cool to think about. Despite trading around 6,000 this week, growth would not be would need to be huge for the cryptocurrency to create space for the entire global stock of government money. M1, 4,686.91 billion. Far from the exuberant price forecast for the next 5 years by the likes of John McAfee and Tim Draper, Bitcoin must expand to trade at least 223,000 per coin to achieve extinguishing capacity. This, he added, assumes an orderly conversion without the inevitable hyper-Bitcoinization event. 5 million per Bitcoin for all M3 fiat. The numbers, however, can get bigger. Of course, they can get bigger. You guys want a bigger number? You guys want a bigger number? 52 quintillion dollars. 52. 52. 52 septillion. The numbers, however, of course, can get bigger. The 220,000 causing excitement online is only correct on the basis of M1 money supply. Other commenters note, and pales in comparison if M2 and M3 are added to the fiat bill. To cater for that amount, Bitcoin would need to cost around 5 million. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. People oh man. In quarter two 2018, meanwhile, Bitcoin bulls continue to peruse current fundamentals to placate naysayers who cannot foresee prices recovering or surpassing the all-time highs of December last year. And mind you, I'm not a naysayer, and I don't think that prices can't recover at some point. I hope they do quarter four of this year. That would be good. But just let's get real. Research continues to regularly highlight belief among both lay investors and businesses hodl behavior, combining with a wait-and-see approach to international regulatory improvements. So this week, Octagon Strategy became the latest financial player to go public about its bullish stance on Bitcoin, telling mainstream media that the double-edged sword of regulation would be the defining factor to push markets up once more. For educator Willie Woo, oh no, your parents named you that? I'm sorry, man. However, the mainstreamers' continued obituaries of Bitcoin are proof the industry does not understand it, with the cryptocurrency's growth potential extending to all companies and all GDP. All GDP. You mean every single country, every single. Hey, why not just say? Why not say this too? I'm gonna pale that 5 million. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna combine M1, M2, M3 into Bitcoin. We're at 5 million. MrSotko is gonna take us to the moon. MrSotko is gonna take us to the moon. You thought 5 million was good? Screw your 5 million. Throw it in the trash. Get in a spaceship with me. Fly into space with a big net and a whole bunch of gear and equipment. We're going to capture an asteroid. We're going to capture a metallic asteroid that has had its surface blown away in some kind of impact that mankind will never know about. Blown away. Boom! Hear that? Or we're going to Armageddon it and put a nuke in it. Okay? We're going to take all of the heavy metals, the platinums, the iridiums, the rare earth metals, all the iron and the nickel, and I'm going to launch it to the planet Earth. I'm just going to take it, swing it like Apollo, and just whoosh, whoosh, get some centrifugal force going, and just launch it to the planet Earth. Some of it's going to burn up in the atmosphere. It's going to land on a major city. Many, many people will be injured. I'm sorry about that in advance. But we need Bitcoin at a higher level, okay? Then I'm going to sell all the metals, and we're going to make it not 5 million per Bitcoin. We are going to flood the entire planet with rare earth metals, and we're going to make Bitcoin $10 million for 24 hours until everybody realizes that the earth has been flooded with rare earth metals and the price of everything crashes. And then we're all going to pick up some Bitcoin on the cheap in the bear market. I know. I know, guys. Come on. Thanks for the applause. Just settle down. Okay, guys. Okay. I know, I'm a genius. Okay, so 5 million. Eat it, right? I'm going to make it 10. Anyway, back to the coin market cap, 270 billion. We are going up. Things are looking a little better for now. Perhaps we just needed the first half of the year to start going the other way. However, at any point, the whales could sell their Bitcoin, and we could be right back down to 6,000. So don't get your hopes up just yet. Make sure you keep on watching that price, and whenever it starts to dip, sell and pick up more on that dip and do that good old trading method. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and as usual, I will see you guys next time.